All right, I want to start by saying Barakatha Yahweh, Barakatha Yahawashi, Barakatha Yahweh, Barakatha Yahawashi, Kohala Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahawashi, Kohala Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahawashi, Ba'ashem Rakak Kwadash. Double honors to the elders and apostles at Great Millstone that told me this doctrine in truth and sincerity. Shalom to the elect. The Heavenly Father's name is Yahweh, which means He is or He exists. Ba'ashem, in the name of His only begotten Son, who the world ignorantly calls Jesus Christ. We know His name to be Yahawashi, which means He is the deliverer. He is the Savior for the Hebrew Israelites from the pedigree of your father. Ba'ashem, in the name of the Rakak Kwadash, which means the Holy Spirit, that's able to give us the knowledge, wisdom, and understanding of who we are, which are the true Hebrew Israelites. If you're so-called Negro, so-called Latino, so-called Native American, or of the speckled bird, looking like the other nations, and your spirit bear witness with our spirit that we are the children of Yahweh Hashem Yahawashi, then you could be one of the elect. Shalom. We've been discontinued from our heritage because we went on falling after false gods and false idols, and not following the law, statute, commandments that was given to us by our forefathers. And because of those offenses, we were sent into captivity. But through our Lord Yahawashi HaMashiach being that perfect sacrifice in the flesh to the Heavenly Father, He's been given all power to be able to sit on the right-hand side of the Heavenly Father, Yahweh, to be able to open the seals of this book, to be able to give the very understanding to the hopeful elect, the ones that would be quickened with the understanding of that we're in perilous times, and they would be able to be comforted by the scriptures, okay, and they would be guided down that straight path, which is a position of difficulty, but the Lord will give us knowledge, wisdom, and understanding to be able to be stable in the time of Jacob's trouble, the time of great famine, the time of great pestilence, great evils on the earth, because what you're seeing through the power of Yahweh Shemashai is the changing, of the translating of powers. Okay, and in the transition of power, most of the time there's going to be bumpy roads. Okay, and in that you have where America, okay, which is Babylon the Great today, which Babylon means confusion, America means bitter, has fornicated with all these different nations, by pushing their petrodollar, okay, the dollar that folds, okay, which is nothing but a Ponzi scheme, okay, to have all these different nations, trading in that petrodollar. Say, for instance, if Russia and Saudi Arabia want to have a trade, they would have to trade in the petrodollar, okay? They would have to trade in that dollar, meaning that America would be the middleman. So that means that they would have part on every type of trade, okay? And how did they do that? Because the Lord has raised up Babylon the Great to be that golden cup, okay, or that golden, that golden cup in the Lord's hand, okay? But now the nations are mad because they're finding out that Babylon the Great, all its, enchantments and all its sorcery are weathering away, okay? And now what this horror is being made bare, okay, starting with the prophets, but even you have where certain people in the world are just speaking about America, going into the shameful spewing upon that glory, okay? And that's what we see going on, if you have eyes to see and ears to hear. So I want to start right here. This is an interview that's been going around, right? You had the guy Tucker Carlson, okay, which he's probably just controlled opposition, right? But the thing is that it's pushing what prophecy that Russia, okay, which is the Medes in Isaiah 13 and 17 and Ezekiel 38 and 2 speaks about Magog. Those are both speaking about Russia because they're in that land, okay, and they are being stirred up and they're openly speaking about issues, okay? And what is that causing? That's causing a division amongst the people, okay? And when there's division, there's what? The bankers are right there because they're the ones that are pushing also the division because Yahweh Shemashai is pushing them to do it, okay? This is Jeremiah 51. Just want to read this first and I'm going to start the video. Jeremiah 51 and 7, Babylon, which is America today, okay, we know this is not speaking about ancient Babylon because ancient Babylon is over there in Iraq, okay, and that's still standing. That's not the leader of the world. America is, okay, the Revelation 17, the city that sits on many waters, going into, basically they're buying and selling, okay, they're the number one commodity far as America. Everything that they push is sold all around the world, okay, and everybody wants to be like the great whore. Okay, so Jeremiah 51 and 7, which is America today. Babylon have been a golden cup in Yahweh's hand, okay, in the Lord's hand. that made the earth drunken. The nations have drunken of her wine, therefore the nations are mad. So going into their petrodollar. Now you have Russia where they have their ruble, which is going into a digital currency, which is going right into the mark of the beast. You have China that has their UN, and all these different nations have their own form of digital currency that they're going to be pushing. You have America where they have a Fed now, okay, where they want to do everything digitally, and we're beginning to see in certain places that going on. Far as Whole Foods where they have pay with your hand, the palm scan. Then you have the facial recognition in certain stores. You go to Walmart or whatever. Any of these stores, they have a facial recognition where they're reading your face, what you wear, how you walk. Okay, so these devils are what gathering up statistics on people so they can be able to slander people when it comes down to the great accusation. Okay, when they're going to come down with great rain, when they're going to be cardinal. And I'm speaking about Esau Edom because he has a God complex. Okay, which is the so-called white man of today. He's been given the fatness of the earth and that great sword. And these would be the international bankers of the world. The Rothschilds, the Rockefellers, the Oppenheimers, the DuPonts, the Warburgs, the Schiffs. Okay, and these elites, right, they control America. Okay, and pushing out the fornication. And then America uses their military, the hammer of the earth, to rape, rob, and pillage these different areas, pushing Americanization. And now these nations are mad because they've drunken of the philosophies, that white pale-faced image, when that's not how the Messiah looks, okay, of Christianity, the man on man, woman on woman, okay, then now you have the transhumanism, where they want to merge, okay, man, with a robot. So, in that, okay, they have to destroy their whole system. Okay, that's why they're saying the Great Reset or Build Back Better. And really, what that is having Jake, you Israelites, on the bottom, okay, and them at the top, and them having a mark embedded inside your hand or your forehead, so they can be able to control what you're buying and selling. That if you speak against them, okay, they'll just cut you off. Okay, and the Lord spoke about if you take that mark, okay, that you will have a grievous sore, ulcer, or cancer. You'll have no rest day nor night, and you'll get caught up in the lake of fire. And the lake of fire is those ICBM missiles, intercontinental ballistic missiles. It's not a place where you burn in hell forever. Okay, it's a place where there's Babylon the Great, 5,000 square miles of fire, rising up. And first, it's coming with the inside. Okay, the inside, their economy is being destroyed, the shameful spewing upon their glory. Okay, and they're being belittled. Okay, and they're being exposed. Jeremiah 51:7, and I'm speaking about the wicked of this world. Okay, Esau, Edom, the earth is given into the hands of the wicked. Okay, Malachi 1:4, the border of wickedness. Okay, the harbingers of death. They have made the earth a concrete haunted jungle. Okay, a concrete haunted jungle. Okay, that when you go outside to a store, you might see 4 or 5 transformers, or you might see maybe 4 or 5, man on man, woman on woman, maybe, one transformer. Okay, but the thing is that you're seeing the wickedness, okay, and then the wine, the philosophies, okay, and these nations are beginning to be mad. And what are they doing? They're circling around Babylon. Why? Because they see bloods in the water. Okay, and this is another sign where you have a president of Russia, okay, speaking about America, okay, and what is America can't do nothing about it. Okay, why? Because Russia is, the Lord has raised up Russia to be that nation to come up against the beast system, which that beast system, okay, is America spearheading the charge, and NATO join unto it, which is the Roman Empire, that deadly wound being healed, okay, being healed, and it's a nation of people, which are the biblical Edomites, the so-called white men, okay, and they're actually fighting at the top. As far as you have the Russian, the Eastern Edomites that control Russia, then you have the Western Edomites that control America, and they're fighting one against another, okay? And what happens when you're fighting one against another, as far as you're going to fall, okay, ultimately, right? Jeremiah 51:7, Babylon had been a golden cup in Yahweh's hand that made the earth drunken. The nations have drunken of her wine, therefore the nations are mad. Okay, so these nations are beginning to say what they want to say. You have China, speaking about the leadership of America. You have Putin. Okay, you have Macron. You have these different presidents that are openly speaking about America when, maybe 10 years ago, they never would have said nothing. Okay, so I want to get this word golden real quick.
Strong's H 2091. Zahab. Zahab.
Okay, Zahab in the Hebrew. Okay, 2091. It says gold. Okay, as a measure of weight. Okay, and that's what that's what money is. It's actually a measure of weight. Okay, and what have they done? Well, actually, Putin's going to speak about it in this. They have, printed money, which creates where the money becomes devalued. Okay, because you're just printing so much money, and the prices are going up, but you're actually devaluing the money. Okay, that's why they want to give you reparations now, because they know that the money's not worth anything anymore, and they're bringing in their new system. Okay, so the definition of that word, what's that word? Oh yeah, gold, right? Zahab, precious metal. Yeah, so a measure of weight. So with that measure of weight, America has been able to go through these different countries, and what they all trade in what the currency of America. Okay, but now they're beginning to withdraw. Okay, and he's gonna speak about it. I'm just bringing out the scriptures, so it's all gonna make sense, Lord willing, right? So a measure of weight, brilliant splendor, and that's how America is seeing it, as a brilliant splendor, that beacon of light. Okay, but now, it's being deteriorated. It's being exposed. Okay, of nothing but a place of just fornication. Okay, and the nations are mad. Let me get this word, are mad.
Strong's H 1984. Halal. Halal.
Yeah, to shine. Okay, to flash forth. Yeah. So what are these people doing? They're flashing forth. They're saying they're condemning what America. Okay, and what they're speaking. Act madly. Yeah, like a madman. Okay, and that's what they're doing, because you have people that are what. They're gathering up ICBM missiles, these Satan IIs and these Moabs and these conquerors. Okay, these ICBM missiles. Okay, if they hit, they destroy masses of landmass, and their mass destruction. Okay, and the Lord said there's going to be over 200 million of them, right? So America has been that golden cup, and what the nations are now mad. Okay, so let's play this.
The U.S. dollar, which has kind of
bear with me.
The world in a lot of ways, maybe not to your advantage, but certainly to ours. Is that going away as the reserve currency, the universally accepted currency? How have sanctions, do you think, changed the dollar's place in the world?
To use the dollar as a tool of foreign policy struggle is one of the biggest strategic mistakes made by the U.S. political leadership. The dollar is the cornerstone of the United States power, but they won't stop printing. What does the debt of $33 trillion tell us about? As soon as the political leadership decided to use the US dollar as a tool of political struggle, a blow was dealt to this American power.
Okay, and that's in the scriptures, right? Let's get that over here real quick. Habakkuk, 2 and 5. Okay, they have laid on thick clay. So 33 trillion, which also that 33 goes back to the masonry, the numbers that they use. Okay, they use certain numbers to be able to show certain things. So, just a side note, right? So this is Habakkuk 2, because he's speaking about the debt, right? Habakkuk 2 and 6. Shall not these take up a parable against him, a taunting proverb against him, and say, woe unto them that increase that which is not his? How long unto him that ladeth himself with thick clay? Okay, so they laid themselves with thick clay. When you go into this to this word thick clay, or these words, right? Abat. Okay.
Strong's H 5671. Avtit.
Yeah, abtit in the Hebrew, 5671. Abtit. Weight of pledges, heavy debts. So they're 33 in the whole, okay? And that's just on record, because really they're even more in the hole, because what they do is America also funds these different proxy wars that go on. The wars in Afghanistan, okay? That's why they constantly keep pillaging different places, because they're trying to, put money, take money from one spot and put it over there, and then say, hey, I got you, okay? And that's led to what their currency, their dollar being devalued, which is the same thing they did in Rome, where they had the denarius, and they would basically put metals in there that made it less valuable, okay, which is the same thing they're doing with the dollar, because the dollar is nothing but F and R note. It's nothing but a debt. Okay, that's why when Jake holds that up to their, they hold the money to their head and stuff like that, they don't realize that that's just debt. Okay, because true, riches is actually the wisdom of Yahweh Shem Shai. Okay, that's the true wisdom, is actually Yahweh Shem Shai. Okay, his wisdom is more precious than rubies. Okay, and with the Lord. Okay, I was going to do a video about this. The brother had said this. He said the standard of the Lord, okay, is more valuable, okay, than resources. Okay, and why is that? Because the standard is the signal of Yahweh Shem Shai, okay, showing you where there's light, by giving you the wisdom. Okay, but those that have resources in the world, okay, for instance, they have money in their bank account, or they have, a certain amount of food stacked up at their house. Okay, those things are not going to profit you in the day of wrath. Proverbs 11:4, riches shall not profit you in the day of wrath. Proverbs 11:3 speaks about that integrity. Okay, far as your moral standard, what are you standing upon? Are you standing upon Yahweh Shai, which is that rock? Okay, or are you standing upon carnality? Okay, and that's what you have, is America standing upon their their brute force, okay, and their trickery. Okay, and their lies and deception. And now those debts have ultimately, Revelation 18, have reached to the heavens. Okay. Yeah, pawn goods. Okay, and that's what they've done too. Because America is a corporation. Okay, when you understand that it's a corporation, everything is here is they're selling everything. Okay, people included, children included. Okay, they even want to sell your rights, your identity to other people. Okay, that's what the eye scan, that world coin or whatever it was to scam people's eyes so they can get who you are. Okay, and your traits. Okay, and America has pawned their goods. Okay, they've pawned their own people. Okay, we are not free. We are slaves, and we're under a society of a paper yoke, which is the birth certificate. Okay, your social security card. Okay, and that all goes back to London, which is where the monetary system is ran out of. Okay, that's one of the three unclean spirits is ran out of. Okay, and you're able to they're able to make money off you, whether you are a person of society or whether you're just a nigga on the streets, going back and forth to prison. They still make money off you, because they'll put you in prison where they have these unrighteous decrees where they make you back a slave. Okay, where you'll be working for like 30 cents, making signs or something. Okay, so they have pawned the goods, because also what has America done? They have sold, a lot of their land. Okay, that's why China's just doing whatever they want, because they own a lot of land. Okay, particularly in California. Okay, so they've sold the land that they stolen. They have sold to another. Okay, and so they pawned away their goods, their identity, their soul, okay, of America, that 1950 spirit or whatever, like when it was so-called good in America, okay, that is over. Now the earth is beginning to languish. The people are getting to be exhausted, be droopy, okay, and they're just tired of their government, okay, and these devils have ran it up, as far as they ran it up to 33 trillion, okay, and who's going to pay for whatever that they want? The taxpayers, okay. That's why prices are going up. Let's read this in the NLT. Habakkuk 2:6. But soon their captors will taunt them. Yeah, so the people that were at the bottom, it says in Isaiah that they were dead. But soon their captives will taunt them. They will mock them, saying, what sorrow awaits you thieves? Now you will get what you deserve. You become rich by extortion. By how much longer can this go on? Yeah, how much longer can this go on? Okay, of now they want to have a mark embedded inside your hand or your forehead. How much longer? When you read, what is that, Micah? They've become rich by what? Extortion. Okay, tell them, by pushing fear on people to comply to the certain mandates. Okay, and people that don't have the hedge of protection, they just fall for it. Okay, this is Micah 6. Yeah, this is Micah 6. So this is speaking about wicked Israelites, okay? But again, these curses are beginning to fall on our enemies, right? So this is Micah 6 and 10, because who is the rich in this world? Okay, the so-called white man. Okay, so this is Micah 6 and 10. Are there yet treasures of wickedness in the house of wicked, and scant measure that is abominable? Yeah, and these are what scant measures, because the money that you get, that dollar is actually not worth a dollar anymore because the prices are going up. Okay, Micah 6 and 11. Shall I count them pure with the wicked balances and with the bag of deceitful weights? Okay, so this was happening back then. Deceitful, scale, as far as they were doing certain things with the, again, with the weights of the money, of the currency. Okay, it's no different in this time. Okay, Micah 6 and 12. For the rich men thereof are full of violence. Yeah, so that whole thing a couple years ago was all about depopulation. Okay, and getting control and seeing where the people are at, basically checking the temperature of the people and seeing what they'll go for, and what people don't go for it. So the people that don't go for it, what are they doing? They're putting you on a list, okay, of what the you have the red list, okay, the red list, the blue list, the yellow list, and the black list. So the red list would be with the prophets, okay, the blue list would be the followers of the prophets. Okay, then you have the blacklist, which are like your Alex Jones, your, these certain, Dabu 7, certain, anonymous officials, some of these people that are coming out with truths, but they don't have the covering of Yahweh Shema Shah. So that blacklist is where going to be, the people that are going to be, immediately, that, the guy that made the Gray State, okay, he got the movie, or he was going to make it, the Gray State, and he was found, him and his family, deleted. Okay, and that's what happens when you're coming out with truth, but you don't have the protection of Yahweh Shema Shai. Okay, then you have the yellow list, which is the people that are just simple. They're they just gonna follow whatever Esau Edom tells them. They can be re-educated or things like that. When you go into, if you look it up, they got the red and blue. I've done lessons about it on this page. Brothers want to check it out. Okay, but the point is that they want to be able to measure, okay, everything that you do, okay, and they're able to make money off that. Okay, if you like something, okay, they're gonna push it, or for instance, Slakia, when they push agenda, they'll use Jake to do it. Okay, they'll use our people. That's a good example. They'll use our people to push it. For instance, you'll have these different commercials, and you'll have Jake with the big, the big burger. The big burger is not good enough with all, all the good stuff. They have to put bacon on top of it, and then they'll put a double bacon on it. Why? Because they know that that's against our customs, and they want our people. Because really, what it is just an enchantment. But what do? They make lots of money off that, because what do you have are people being in these different rooms where they're telling you that you have this and you have that. Okay, meanwhile, you just gotta start eating right, or whatever it may be, and stop, having certain things. Okay, these devils have become rich off that. Okay, Micah 6 and 12. For the rich men thereof are full of violence, and the inhabitants thereof. Yeah, so they've also becoming rich off what? Slavery. Okay, because that's ultimately what they want. They don't want a nation full of thinkers. They don't want a bunch of people knowing what they're doing and exposing what they're doing. They want a nation full of workers. Okay, and in that workers, they want slaves. Okay, that's actually true rulership. Okay, that's what Build Back, Make America Great is all about. Okay, putting you back into slavery. Okay, putting not that yoke of iron, okay, around your neck, but actually that digital yoke in your hand or your forehead, okay, to be able to control you, to dominate, whatever, again, slaves. That's what, because in the kingdom there's going to be slaves, right? Okay, but this devil's trying to come with his carnality because he is a carnal man, right? It says, for the rich men thereof are full of violence, and the inhabitants thereof have spoken lies, and that's what they're pushing. Okay, they're also pushing lies because they're pushing propaganda on Russia, because Russia is saying they don't even want to do nothing, but America keeps pushing it, and ultimately that's the Lord what's stirring up the meats. Okay, for the rich men thereof are full of violence, the inhabitants thereof have spoken lies, and their tongue is deceitful in their mouth. Yeah, their tongue is deceitful. Okay, they don't tell the truth, and this is becoming a society where if you're speaking the truth, you become a prey. Okay, and where also Isaiah 59, where the truth, righteousness will be outlawed. Far as that's what they're trying to do with the Bible. Okay, another way to make money, because to having people without the Bible, or to having people without the true understanding, they're gonna keep walking in that darkness. But the Lord is what, tapped us on that shoulder. Hey, turn to me, going into the Lord's face being shining upon us, which the Lord, the face is symbolic to what the Lord's presence. Okay, we see we're in the land of darkness. We're seeing we're in the city of confusion. Okay, we're seeing the iniquity. The Lord's letting us see it, so we're able to testify of the works thereof are evil. These are evil works. Okay, Micah 6:12 in the NLT. The rich among you have become wealthy through extortion and violence. Your citizens are so used to lying, their tongues can no longer tell the truth. And that's what you see here. Okay, that's exactly what you see here, where, far as in society, they don't want to hear the truth. They want to hear what nice, smooth things. Okay, so this is Habakkuk 2. Okay, Habakkuk 2:7. Shall they not rise up suddenly? It says, that shall bite thee and awake thee, shall vex thee, and thou shalt be from the booties unto them. Okay, let's read this NLT. Suddenly your debtors will take action. They will turn on you and take all you have while you stand trembling helpless. So, America tried to put sanctions on Russia, but what did that do? That actually put sanctions on America. Okay, because now you have where China doesn't want to mess with America. Okay, Obadiah 1:17. The nations that were once confederate with thee have now, basically roughly paraphrasing, have come against thee. Okay, so they shall rise up. Yeah, and who's rising up? The Lord. Let's get this word rise up, because that's what Putin's doing with that right there, putting him, far as letting him know, hey, I didn't do that. Okay, now there's what? Now the people are what? Correlating.
Strong's H 6965. Kum.
Yeah, kum. So in the Hebrew 6965, it says to be established. So Russia's being established as that dominant country, and America is gonna is gonna take the back seat, far as because ultimately both these countries are gonna be destroyed. Yahweh Shemashah is gonna be at the top, right? Okay, but Russia's looking like the more stronger nation. Okay, first of all by their leadership. Okay, and that's because the Lord has this word going out, so it's exposing him to be valid. Okay, confirm, ratify, establish, impose, and that's what Vladimir Putin, he's imposing what his view on what's going on. Okay, yeah, clear, yeah. So it's getting more clear about what is actually going on, because you're hearing these people speak. Okay, these different certain leaders and how they actually feel. Okay. And why is America going to be trembling helpless? Because they don't have the military to fight Russia, China, India, South Africa, okay, the BRICS nations. And what? Russia is the Ryash of that. Okay.
The U.S. dollar, which has kind of united the world in a lot of ways, maybe not.
Slocky, I think it was about 40. Yeah, right here.
tool of political struggle, a blow was dealt to this American power. I would not like to use any strong language, but it is a stupid thing to do and a grave mistake. Look at what is going on in the world. Even the United States allies are now downsizing their dollar reserves. Seeing this, everyone starts looking for ways to protect themselves. But the fact that the United States applies restrictive measures to certain countries, such as placing restrictions on transactions, freezing assets, etc., causes grave concern and sends a signal to the whole world. Do you even realize what is going on or not? Does anyone in the United States realize this? What are you doing? You are cutting yourself off. All experts say this. Ask any intelligent and thinking person in the United States what the dollar means for the US. You're killing it with your own hands.
And again, America has become what that cornerstone. Okay, as far as that dollar has become what the cornerstone of what America. Okay, and so without that dollar, why do they want to crash the dollar? Because they want a digital society. Okay, what do you think they're meeting up in the Davos meetings about? They want a digital society. They know the dollar has to crash. Okay, but they want people to be broke. They don't want people to have any money. Okay, they don't want people to have resources. They don't want people to have friends or whatever. People forming different alliances. That's what that thing a couple of years ago when they said, hey, don't talk to family members, don't, if they don't have this and that. Okay, that's what it's all about. Okay, and these nations have become against that. Okay, come against the values of what America, because they think that they got it now. Obadiah 1 and 2. Behold, I have made thee small among the heathen, thou art greatly despised. So that word small, okay, goes into unimportant. Your dollar is no more. Your cornerstone of America, because the major cornerstones of America was, okay, their military, the hammer of the whole earth. They're able to dominate. Okay, then what the petrodollar? Why? Because they were able to cut off the market with that. Okay, so they're able to either use force or buy you out. Okay, and that's what they've done. They bought a lot of these politicians. Okay, when there was a video, another one with Vladimir Putin and Tucker Carlson speaking, and he was speaking about that. Okay, far as the the things that America has done. Okay, they destroyed. They basically shot themselves in the foot. Why? Because the Lord has done that. The Lord has put that bullseye on what America. Why? Because of all the wickedness they have done. Okay, so the Lord has put a standard up against what this whore. Okay, and He's letting us know by giving us the understanding that there's a downfall of a kingdom. Okay, so Obadiah 1 and 3, the pride of thy heart have deceived thee that dwell in the clefts of the rocks, whose habitation is high, that said in his heart, who shall bring me down to the ground? Okay, and Lord's going to use Russia, these BRICS nations, to come up against America. Okay, ultimately to destroy Babylon the Great. Okay, clefts of the rocks is what symbolic to what who Esau Edom is. Okay, his habitation, Mount Seir. That's why you have the skyscrapers in America. That's why you have the skyscrapers in China, because of America. Americanization, far as this whore, has dominated the culture. That's why you see them in ties and suits. You'll see the Chinese doing that. So the Moabites, right? You'll see them doing that. Okay, why? Because they follow the customs of America. Okay, Obadiah, and ultimately, it's because of their pride. Okay, now they're in their mind they think they got it. Okay, they think they can come up against Russia, China, and India instead of just keep making deals with them. Okay, instead what the Lord is saying, basically what the Lord is doing is cutting ties with everyone, far as cutting ties with these heathen nations. Okay, and what making that the tie with Yahweh, making that tie Slakia with His elect by giving us this information, showing who He loves. Right, Obadiah 1 and 4. It says, thou exalt thyself as thy eagle, as thy set thy nest among thy stars, thence I will bring thee down, said Yahweh Shema Shai. So the eagle is symbolic to what Petra, and then even when you see America today, you always see that eagle that's symbolic to what Esau Edom. Okay, even Russia has what the eagle. Okay, because they're both Edomites, right? So there's no heathen nations are going to ever rise up again after this, this time right now. Obadiah 1 And 5, if thieves came to thee, if robbers by night, how art thou cut off? Would they not have stolen till they have enough? If grape gatherers came to thee, would they have not leave some grapes? So this is going into a custom that we would have where, we had our own welfare system, basically. Okay, where that if someone, didn't have something, you're supposed to leave a certain amount, on a tree. When you take down a harvest, okay, you leave some for people less fortunate. Okay, but what does this devil do? Okay, he takes whatever that is. Okay, he actually preys on the poor, which who are the poor? You so-called Negroes, so-called Latinos, so-called Native Americans. Because what's about to happen is they're about the wicked are about to pull the cord on what the EBT, the Section 8, the HUD. Okay, and if you do have it, they're gonna say, hey, we need you to take this. Okay, they might come with the jump shot, or they'll come, or they'll come with the UBI, Universal Basic Income. Okay, they steal everything that the poor has. Okay, and it speaks about when you oppress the poor. Okay, and you're not supposed to do that. But what this devil does is he constantly is in the ghettos, vadios, and the reservations oppressing the poor. Okay, I just saw yesterday on the news. It was it was basically the cartels. The Sinaloa cartel has now started to be on these different reservations, where the reservations they have actually an epidemic of fentanyl. Okay, so they have a lot of deaths, a lot of overdose and things like that. So what you have is Jake, Issachar, the northern tribes, what they're engaged in, what sorcery. Okay, but when I was looking at it, I'm looking at but who brings in those drugs, who lets in, who owns the boats that brings in these type of drugs. Okay, who actually is paying off at the top. Okay, it's Esau Edom. Okay, he's the number one drug dealer. Okay, but Jake is the face of it. Okay, because we are we are oppressed together. Okay, we are in this, in Babylon the Great, we are oppressed together under this devil. Okay, and every day is a constant is a way for Esau Edom to try to, be in your life. Okay, but that's why it's a constant fight, between what good and evil. Okay, but when you're following Yahweh Shemashah, he's going to give you the wisdom and the knowledge and understanding to know what this devil is doing. Okay, to be able to overcome those obstacles. Okay, of this devil constantly doing that. When you think about, the crack epidemic, okay, you think about the heroin epidemic, these certain things that came in and basically swept out generations of people, okay, of our people, okay, and who made money off that? Esau Edom. Okay, let's read this in NLT. It says, if thieves came at night and robbed you, what disaster awaits you? They would not take everything. Those who harvest grapes always leave a few for the poor, but your enemies will wipe you out completely. They will wipe you out completely. Okay? Because they didn't only give you Snoop Dogg or 50 Cent, Dr. Dre. They didn't only give you Eazy-E, these people. Then they gave you a whole other generation of even more degenerates. Then they mix them in with the old niggas. Okay? And they still doing the same thing that they were doing at 18. You shouldn't be doing the same thing at 18 as when you're 40. Okay? You should, when you're 50. And these people are icons in our society. Okay? But these devils have made millions and billions and trillions of dollars, above trillions of money, because you think about slavery. They're sitting on old money. And then not even to think about the what they did with the hip hop industry. Okay, how off streams they're destroying the people. You can't make no money. Okay, but that's why this is not your rest. Okay, let's read this in again. Obadiah 1:5. If these came at night and robbed you, what a disaster awaits you. They would not take everything. Those who harvest grapes always leave a few for the poor, but your enemies will wipe you out completely. Okay? It says, every nook and cranny of Edom will be searched and looted. Every treasure will be found and taken. Yeah, so shameful spewing is upon what? Esau Edom's glory. Okay? So, just like, we were taken, of everything that we had. Now what? Lamentations 1 and 21, Deuteronomy 30 and 7. These curses are beginning to fall on this devil. And who is Edom, the so-called white man? Okay, Mount Seir, where we're supposed to be prophesying against. Okay, we're not supposed to be gauging in 501c3 contracts, coming in with Christianity, bugged out doctrines like hell doctrine, like the hell doctrine. The hell doctrine is not sound doctrine. Okay? Because these are the people that, these are the things that are going to be found out too, with these contracts and things like that. As far as who's actually working with the, you know what I'm saying? And you see it by the doctrine that they have. Okay, it says no, make no contract with the heathen. So every nook and cranny of Edom, because Edom uses our own people, even the ones that are Israelites, okay, wicked Israelites, to what? Do the bidding of what? The elites. That's what it speaks about in Psalms 2 and 1. When it speaks about why did the heathen rage in the people, imagine if anything, the people is speaking about Israelites, wicked Israelites that are going to be pushing the mark of the beast, that are still, that they love America. They love the idea of a 15-minute city. They love the idea of having a mark inside their hand or their forehead because they love their master. Obadiah 1 and 6. Every nook and cranny of Edom will be searched and looted. Every treasure will be found out and taken. Okay, and what was one of their treasures? Which is what? That petrodollar. With that going away, they're going to lose masses of money. Okay, and what does Esau Edom love? He loves what? His fake money. Okay, so what is he going to do? And what does he love even more? The sword. So he's going to go use his sword and he's going to be broken. Okay, Obadiah 1 and 7. Okay, in the NOT. All your allies will turn against you. They will help to chase you from your land. They will promise you peace while plotting to deceive and destroy you. Your trusted friends will set traps for you and you won't even know about it. And that's what Vladimir Putin was saying. Because you had a long-time relationship with America and Saudi Arabia as far as they were trading oil. Saudi Arabia was trading the oil and with the petrodollar, so they made a lot of money. Okay? And now what Saudi Arabia is beginning to, I believe they already joined what the BRICS nations. I believe they were one of the 6, if I'm not mistaken. Or they're in talks with it. Okay? Also, Iran's in talks. So, and a lot of these nations, they had certain trade deals with America. But now what? Your trusted friends will set traps for you and you won't even know about it. Okay? And now it's being known. Okay? It says, at the time, not a single wise person will be left in the whole land of Edom, says the Lord. For on the mountains of Edom, I will destroy everyone who has understanding. Yeah, so going into the wisest, of the Edomites, okay, going into the Teman, okay, are going to be what? Exposed in that day. They're not going to be able to, just like in the time of Pharaoh, okay, where the astrologers, they couldn't figure it out, okay, but Moses could, okay. So that's the same thing that's going on, and Moses would be what? The elect today, okay. And those monthly prognosticators, those astrologers, they can't figure out what's happened to their kingdom. Okay, but what's happened is they strived against their maker. Okay, so in that striving against their maker, the Lord's what? Letting them know who the Lord is. Okay, and who the Lord's people are. Okay, Obadiah 1 and 10. For the violence against thy brother Jacob shall cover thee, and thou shalt be cut off forever. Yeah, they're going to be cut off. Okay, and first it's starting with the money system. Okay, Isaiah 14 and 9. Yeah, Isaiah 14 and 9. Because what has this devil done? Okay, he's ruled these nations with a continual sword. Okay, let me go up real quick. This is Isaiah 14 and 6. It says, you struck the people with endless blows of rage and held the nations in anger, grip, and unrelenting tyranny. And that's what America has done with their hammer of the earth. Now these different nations they want to get their piece on what America. Okay, you don't think these different nations forgot what America did to them? Okay, so Isaiah 14 and 9, it says, hell from beneath is moved for thee to meet thee at the coming. Okay, hell from beneath. Yeah, a place in the... So that word hell, let's just look it up. Because hell is a condition played out on earth. Right? And it was hell, Sheol, right?
Strong's H, 7585. Sheol. And second entry, Sheol. Sheol.
Yeah. So Sheol, which goes into what the grave. Okay, the grave, right? Hell. But of course, the Blue Letter Bible goes off. But again, it just means the grave. Okay, the spirit world. To make it clear, wicked sent there for punishment. So we were sent to what? We were sent here to what? Babylon the Great, to serve out our sentence, because we're being punished for what we did in our past life. So we're serving out our sentence. Micah 7 and 9. We're bearing that indignation. Okay. Yeah, a place of exile. Yeah, we're captives exile. Okay, we're captives in exile, waiting on our release. Yeah, inmates. Okay, inmates. Okay, that's what we are. We're inmates. Right? To what? We're inmates to what? To ultimately to Yahweh Shem Shai. But in this society, we're captives in exile. Okay, when you read, what is that? Let's see if I can get that. Isaiah 51 and 14. Yeah, Isaiah 51 and 14. The captive exile hasten. Yeah, because we're in exile. Okay, we're not in our land. This is not our land. We're not American. America, the name goes back to America Vespucci. We're not American. Okay. We're not African American. That goes back to Leo Africanus, which is also an Edomite. Okay. And we're not from Africa. Okay. We're from Israel. Okay. We're Hebrew Israelites. Okay. Isaiah 51 and 14. The captive exile hasten that we may be loosened, and that he should not die in the pit, nor his bread shall fail. So what is that pit? The system that America has. Okay, what's happening is their system is beginning to fail, while our system is beginning to what? Increase in what? Wisdom. Okay, and the pit here is the system that Esau Edom wants to impose. Okay, and we're praying that our bread, which is the bread of Yahweh Shema Shai, John 6 and 44, the bread that we're eating off this what? Spiritual manna, does not fail. Okay, in the time of what? Vegetation, or the time of Jacob's trouble. Okay, so we're captives exile. We're not free. Okay, so Isaiah 14 and 9. So hell is a condition played on earth from beneath is moved for thee to meet thee at the coming. It stir up the dead. So are these people actually dead? No, they were dead because they were ruled with a continual stroke. These different nations under what? America. Stir up the dead. The Lord's what? Stirring them up, right? Up the dead. For thee, even all the chief ones. So the chief goes into, I believe that word is Rayash. Okay. Chief ones of the earth, it had raised up from the thrones all the kings of the nations. So that's what you have. You have, let me see what that word says right there. When you read Ezekiel 38, okay, it speaks about the chief prince. And when you go into that word chief, it goes into Rayash. Let me see if it's the same word right here. Okay, it's a different word. So we'll say the chief one. So those would be
Strong's H, 6260. Atud.
So the chief ones of today would be what the the chief one. Okay, full grown spoken. Leader. Okay, that's the leaders of the people. So you have Vladimir Putin, you have Xi Jinping, you have Kim Jong-un. Okay, Morrison. In Australia, you have Macron. You have the leaders of the people. Okay, and now you even have what these unelected officials.
Strong's H, 6257.
Athad in the Hebrew.
Second entry. Atha.
Yep. Athad in the Hebrew, 6257, to be ready, to make ready, to prepare. And what are these nations doing? They're actually preparing for war. Okay, they're going in for what the kill on what? Babylon the Great. Okay, so the chief ones of the earth he had raised up. Okay, who raised them up? Yahweh Shem Shai. Okay, yeah. So this word Quam.
Strong's H, 6965. Kum.
Okay. Okay, so right here, to arise, to become powerful. Okay, Russia wasn't, they got smoked far as in the Cold War. They were embarrassed. Now the Lord said, I will put hooks on thy jaws, okay, so you can be able to, go out and fight and basically gather up your weapons, okay, and I'm going to have you be fighting against America. Ezekiel 38, Ezekiel 39, okay, to maintain, to be valid, proven, okay, to raise up, to stir up, okay, and when America hit that Nord Stream 2, okay, that Nord Stream 2, that stirred up Russia because that cut off a lot of their money, okay, a lot of that money, Nord Stream 1 and Nord Stream 2, they cross each other. And where do they cross each other? They cross each other right in Yahweh Shabbat, Yahweh's judgment, okay, and the oil is very important to a New World Order, okay, so these chief ones are rising up, far as they're allying themselves, okay, with Russia, okay, which is their lead, the BRICS nations, to come up against America and the beast system, okay. Isaiah 14:9, hell from beneath is moved for thee to meet thee at the coming. It stir up the dead for thee, even all the chief ones of the earth. It have raised up from the thrones of the kings of the nations. It says, all they shall speak and say unto thee, art thou also become as weak as we? Art thou become like unto us? Yeah. So again, that once great Babylon the Great, that great whore that sat upon many waters. Okay, now the military is they don't have enough forces on the ground. They don't have the scientists to be able to, create a more powerful Satan 2 to push fear on the people. Okay. And these nations see the blood in the water. Okay. Thy pomp. Yeah. And what is that pomp? That's their pride. Okay. Their might, their power, their military, their money, their prestige. Okay. That pomp is brought down to the grave. Okay. Again, going into the Sheol, going into their inheritance. The pomp is brought down to the grave, and the noise of the vials, and the worm is spread under thee, and the worms cover thee. So this is going into first their economy. Okay, the dollar is not no value. Okay, it's not worth anything. Okay, and what did Vladimir Putin say? He said that's America's Cornerstone. Okay, and he said he doesn't even know what they're doing because they're putting themselves in a basically they're biting their own tail, or however you want to say it. Kicking them on, kicking themselves in the ass, right? Why? Because the Lord is having them do that. Isaiah 14:11 in the NLT, it says, your might and power will buried with you. The sound of the harp and the palace has ceased. Now maggots are the sheet and the worms are your blanket. Okay? Because again, those are uncertain riches that you're trusting in. Okay? And you've got them by what? Unrighteous decrees. Injurious practices. Okay, so now it's come for your fall, right? For everyone to see. This is Sirach 10:1. It says, a wise judge will instruct his people, and a government of a prudent man is well ordered. Okay, a judge of the people is himself, so are the officers, and what manner of man that ruler of the city is such are they that dwell therein. An unwise king destroyeth his people, but though prudence of them which are in authority in the city shall be inhabited. So what do you have? You have where it's basically it's basically a Richard, it's basically a Richard Simmons, workout video up there at the White House. Okay, where you have man on man, woman on woman, transformers. You have people stealing, pedestry, doing coke, carrying guns. Okay, doing all sorts of wickedness. Okay, and these are the seen as the leaders of the world. Okay, I remember when I was growing up, you would have where people wanted to be doctors, police officers, presidents. Now, no one wants to be the president. Okay, as far as just saying the kids in the day, back then that was still, that veil on us, where people wanted to be certain things in society. Okay, and when you realize, when the Lord brings you to the truth, you realize that this is nothing but America is nothing but the land of darkness, the valley of shadow of death. Okay, a wise judge would instruct you to what? Be fruitful and multiply. A wise judge would instruct you to what? To follow the law, statute, commandments of the scriptures. But these are not wise people. Okay, these are not wise people. These are what? Delusional people. These are people that are in constant delirium. These are what? The vessels of wrath fitted for destruction. Okay. It says, Sirach 10:6, bear not hatred toward thy neighbor for every wrong, and do nothing at all by his injurious practices. Okay, injurious practices, and this is what these devils do all the time. Okay, for instance, they'll put certain stuff in your food, and then you have to go to to them, and then what do they give you? They give you their thing. Okay, and what does it lead to? More and more things coming upon you when you trust in this devil. Okay, this is that injurious practices. Okay, injurious practices means that the increase of imports of a product, Slakia, it says tending to an injury or impair, inflicting harm, wrong or mischief or harmful nature or quality. Okay, hurtful. Yeah, they intend to what? Inflict pain on our people. Okay, they know what black culture is doing to our people, but they keep pushing it. Why? Because they make money, and they actually tell people to be more ignorant. Okay, Ice Cube spoke about that. We know he's a sellout. Okay, but the point is that you get the the information that he was they told him to write ignorant raps. Okay, because they wanted to gain a certain audience, and they wanted to people to be in that that thuggy that nigga spirit. Okay, and the Lord's not coming back for no one in that black Latino spirit. Far as you're an Israelite, and then you're calling yourself a Latino or calling yourself black. Okay, that means that you haven't got it. Okay, and these devils have done again the crack epidemic. Okay, in the the 80s. Okay, 70s you had the heroin. Now you have the fentanyl, the crystal. So okay, these people have made, and now with the marijuana. Okay, where you have the marijuana, where they're making lots of money off that, but there's a lot of stuff that's in it. It's not natural. Okay, you would say. Going back in the day when I'm 38, that stuff was different than that the people have now. Okay, it's completely different. Okay, why? Because it has tons of chemicals in it. Okay, but they're able to glorify that and make money off it and make it legal. Meanwhile, they've locked millions of our people in prison for long sentences because of marijuana. But now they're able to make it legal. And are they letting those people out? Okay, no, they're not letting out all of them. Because what happens when you go to jail and stuff like that in prison, there's people change. The people begin to they might become man on man in there. Okay, they might become killers in there. Okay, and it does something to your mind mentally when you're locked in a box of concrete jungle, and these devils know that. They know that being locked up in a box in a concrete jungle does something to your mind. That's why they'll put 23-hour lockdown and things like that for more violent offenders. Okay, when people come out, they got that eyes wide open shut because they done took a bunch of stuff that they didn't give them in there, and now they all fucked up, and now they're in society. And that's also what happens to those that are in the military. They come out, they come from these wars, and they see all this wicked, horrendous stuff. Okay, and then they got to go be a person in society. And what does America do? They shit on their soldiers. Okay, and anybody that's in the military now, you're going to be sent over there. Okay, that's what's happening. This is all prophecy. Okay, and it speaks about in the Apocrypha, not to oppress a man, not to press a man in the war. Okay, that the Lord hates that. Okay, and that's what the society has done. Okay, that those are those injurious practices, because who be on the front line in those militaries? Jake be on the front line. Okay, this is and many times they've used that. For instance, that's the spirit because you have the immigrants coming in. Okay, coming in. That's another part of it. You have the immigrants coming in, and what are they going to do? They're going to make them eligible citizens so they can be able to fight in the war. Okay, they did that in I believe it was either Cuba or Puerto Rico. It might be both. Okay, where they brought basically northern tribes over here to fight in the war. Okay, and then what did they do? Yeah, I believe it was in Miami. I want to say it's either Puerto Rico. I know it's one of the tribes. Okay, so-called Puerto Rican or so-called Cuban, which which Cuban is Manashai. Okay, which means made to forget, and Puerto Rican. So-called Puerto Rican means port rich, which your actual true identity would be Ephraim, okay, which means be fruitful and multiply, okay. But they called you what, Puerto Rican, or they called you, and what that was is that was a byword to make fun of all the land that they stole from you, okay, all the riches that they stole from Puerto Rico, port rich, okay. And so, and they also, and then the Buffalo Soldiers, where you had the Jake Judah basically going to fight what, Gad, okay. So again, and they've made conquered lands by that, by the blood, sweat, and tears. Let me get that. Sirach 26 and 20. Yeah, Sirach 26 and 28. There be two things that grieve my heart, and the third maketh me angry. A man of war that suffer poverty. And that's what most of the people that you see that are homeless, a lot of them were actually in the military. Okay, but they come back with PTSD, they come back bugged out, and then what? They don't want to help them no more. Okay? The third maketh me angry, a man of war that suffer poverty, and men of understanding that are set by, and one that returneth from the righteous to sin, the Lord prepareth such as one for the sword. Yeah, and that's what's going to be happening for what Esau Edom. The sword is upon him, which is the judgment. This is Sirach 10 and 6. Bear not hatred toward thy neighbor for every wrong, and do nothing at all by his injurious practices. Pride is hateful before the Most High, and a man and but do commit iniquity. Yeah, and that's what Esau Edom has. Okay, he's known as that proud man. Because of the unrighteous dealings and injuries and riches got by deceit, the kingdom is translated from one people to another. So that kingdom is being translated to one that is profitable, which is our Lord Yahushua. Okay, and his elect will be joint heirs. Right, and the unrighteous degrees, I spoke about, some of them, okay, but the list goes on and on. There's stuff that we don't even know about. First of all, turning a boy to a harlot, okay, making our women, basically, pushing feminism, okay, pushing, no man in the house rule, as far as get that man away from the family, then they can be able to prey on the woman. Then the woman raises the child becomes, feminine, soft. He hears something he don't like, he just shoots someone in the face. Meanwhile, he got a purse on. See, and with dreadlocks. See, these are the injuries that this devil has done, and they've made riches by it. Okay, they made riches by it, right? And riches got by deceit, and the kingdom is translated from one people to another. Why is earth and ashes proud? There is not a more wicked thing than a covetous man, for such as one set his own soul to sale, because while he liveth he cast away his bowels. The physician, so this is, again, ashes. We're nothing but ashes, okay? When we go to the spirit world, we go to what? The dust. We go back to what? The Lord, okay? The Lord is created what the Lord is our potter, or it's like our Lord is what? Our maker, and we are what? The vessel, okay? We are that vessel. And when we act proud to the Lord can just destroy you. Okay? Read it again. Why is earth and ashes proud? Yeah, why is Esau Edom proud? Okay? There is not a more wicked thing than a covetous man. Yeah, and this guy wants what you have. What does he want? He wants your birthright. Okay? Jacob, the word Yaquab in the Hebrew, supplant. Jacob supplanted Esau Edom. So ever since then, he's had that perpetual hatred, that everlasting hatred towards you. Okay? There is not more wicked, and he wants what you have, which is what? Immortality, salvation, the connection with Yahweh Shema Shai. Because Esau Edom has been he's profaning outside the temple. He's been rejected. For such as one set his own soul to sale. Yeah, so they sold their own soul for sale. Okay? When you go to Luke 4, okay, he speaks about how Yahushua was tested, and then basically Satan said, I'll give you all this. I'll give you all this. And then what did Yahushua said? Hey, get behind me. Okay? Because you ain't shit, right? Okay, and that's what the hopeful elect would be saying right now. But you have the ones that sold their soul, okay, they're riding with the spiritual demon of Satan. And who's the physical counterpart of the spiritual demon of Satan? Esau Edom. These are the demonic spirits. These are the rulers of darkness. Okay, these are the harbingers of death. Okay, and they have sold their soul for what? Death. Okay, let me get a scripture. This is Wisdom of Solomon 1:16. Wisdom of Solomon 1:16. But the ungodly men with their works, their deeds and their words, blasphemy, okay, against the Holy Spirit, and words called it to them, called it to what? To what? To sell their soul, okay, with death, right? For when they thought to have it their friend, they thought, the spiritual demon of Satan was their friend. But who does the spiritual demon of Satan work for? Yahweh Hashem Rashai. Okay, Yahweh Hashem Rashai is the one that's in control of the whole movie. Okay, you have good set against evil. You have the protagonist of the movie, which would be what? Jacob, the righteous one, the hopeful elect. Okay, Yahushai. Then you have on the left-hand side, you have what? Esau, Edom. Okay, and then those that follow his ways. Okay, those that have sold their soul, and those that are constantly they're not repenting. Basically, they're just gonna keep, they're gonna go to the fires, till the missiles hit them. But the ungodly men with their works and their words called it to them, for when they thought to have it their friend, they consumed to naught and made a covenant with it. Yeah, they made a contract. What do? They write it in blood. Okay, they write it in blood. You have to go through the 3 doors. Either sacrifice one of your loved ones. Okay, be buck broken, as far as wearing a dress, okay, or you got to be like Snoop Dogg or 50 Cent, where you're still still a gang member, you're still edgy, street, you're still street, even though you got millions of dollars and you got tons of businesses, but they still paint you as a nigga. You know what I'm saying? Okay, so people have made contracts by what? Blood. It says the covenant with it, which is a contract, because they are worthy to take part with it. Yeah, they're worthy to take part with what? The rituals. Okay, the ceremonies. We have tomorrow where there's going to be a ceremony of bread and circus tomorrow. Okay, and they're worthy to take part in it. These different guys like Usher. I forgot. I think it was Gwen Stefani. And I don't know. Anyway, a bunch of sellouts. But the point is that what do they have to do to get on that platform? Okay, we heard the stories about Usher and Diddy and JD, Jermaine Dupri. We've heard these stories already. Okay, and we know what goes on in the industry. Okay, and they're worthy to take part with what the evils of this world, which ultimately is going to lead to them getting caught up in the lake of fire. Okay, because the Lord's coming to what? Judge the earth. Sirach 10. And 10, the physician cut off the long disease. That physician is our Lord Yahushai. Okay, he's coming to heal the land, cleanse the land with that fire, and to be able to heal us by giving us the comfort of these words. The physician cut off the long disease. Okay, who's that disease? Esau, Edom. He's a cancer. Okay, he's the one that, all the wickedness that you see, he pushes it because he has been given the power for a short period of time to rule. Okay, the physician cut off a long disease, and he that is today a king, tomorrow shall die. Yeah, so he's seen as a king, riding on jets and all that, but tomorrow shall be what? Put low. Okay, for when a man is dead, he shall inherit creepy things, beasts, and worms. Okay, the beginning of pride is one departed from the Most High, and his heart is turned away from his maker. So that was in the beginning, going back to Cain. Cain is nothing, or Esau is nothing but a reincarnation of Cain, which Cain is the wicked one. Okay, so back then in Genesis 4:14, the Lord said, I will turn my face from you. Or you would never, roughly paraphrase Genesis 4:14, basically where the Lord would, Esau, Edom would never get the understanding of the scriptures to be, just to say it that way. Okay, he would never get the understanding of the scriptures. Okay, meaning that the Lord would never show his presence to what? The devil, because the devil is not his. Okay, and that's not his, he controls them. Okay, but the thing is that the Lord's people, the Lord's heritage is what? Jacob. Okay, so now we're turning towards the Lord's face, as far as, doing things that are pleasing unto the Lord, and Lord willing, we endure to the end. It says the beginning of pride is when one depart from the Most High, and his heart is turned away from his maker. For pride is the beginning of sin, and he that has sure pour out the abomination, and therefore the Lord brought upon them strange calamities and overthrew them utterly. Yeah, strange calamities. Okay, and so the earthquakes, the sightings in the sky of the so-called UFOs, which are actually the chariots of the Lord. Okay, the earthquakes in diverse places, the ICBM missiles, right? 14, the Lord Yahushua had cast down the thrones of proud princes and set up the meek in their stead. Who's the meek? The hopeful elect. The Lord Yahushua had plucked up the roots of the proud nations and planted the lowly in their place. Who's the lowly? The Hebrew Israelites. The Lord Yahushua overthrew the countries of the heathen and destroyed them to the foundations of the earth. And how is the Lord going to destroy them? With what? That great sword. Okay? Let me go back up to this. Sirach 10 and 4. The power of the earth is in the hands of Yahushua. In due time, he will set over it one that is profitable. And the hand of our power is prosperity of a man. Upon the person of the scribe shall he lay his honor. Yeah, the understanding of the scriptures. Okay, so Babylon the Great is headed for what? A desolate inhabitants. Okay, because the sins have what? Reached the heavens. Okay, and I'll end it in this scripture. This is Revelation 18 and 2. Let's start right here. This is Revelation 18 and 2. And he cried mightily with a strong voice, saying, Babylon the Great is fallen, and fallen is, behold, and become a habitation of devils, and the hold of every foul spirit, and cage of every unclean and hateful bird. Yeah, going into the wickedness that's here in Babylon the Great. And this is where you have where that do as thou will spirit. And then they push it throughout the four corners of the earth. Right? For all the nations have drunk of your wine and the wrath of your fornication. And the kings of the earth have committed fornication with her. Okay, that her is speaking about America. And the merchants of the earth are waxed rich through their abundance of delicacies. Okay, through the buying and selling, the different trades. Okay, and heard another voice from heaven saying, Come out of her, my people. You should not be partakers of her sins, and that you receive not of her plagues. Yeah, so that's what the Lord is doing right now, calling us out of this, out of this world, far as mentally and spiritually. So ultimately, the Lord can be able to beam us up in those chariots. Okay, so we don't receive the plagues that are going to be coming upon Babylon the Great. Revelation 18 and 5, for her sins have reached unto the heaven, and our power have remembered her iniquities. Remember her even as she's rewarded you. Isakia, reward her even as she's rewarded you, and double unto her, double according to her works, and the cup which she hath filled to her double. Yeah, so all the wickedness that they have done, now it's going to be what poured upon them, far as the judgment, the slavery, captivity, okay, in the destruction of of a kingdom, of Babylon the Great. Revelation 18 and 7, how much she glorified herself and lived deliciously, so much torment and sorrow give her, for she said in her heart, I sit a queen, I am no widow, I shall see no sorrow. Yeah, so I sit a queen, going into what a queen means, what? Prostitute. Okay, I am no widow, meaning that she never lost a war. Okay. It says, therefore shall her plagues come in one day, death and mourning and famine. She shall be utterly burned with fire, for strong is the Lord thy power who judgeth her. And the kings of the earth who committed the fornication and lived deliciously with her shall bewail her and lamentate for her when she shall see the smoke of her burning. Yeah, because they're not going to be able to make any more money with this whore. Standing afar off of the fear of her torment, saying, at last, that great city of Babylon, the mighty city, for in 1 hour is judgment come. Yeah, in 1 hour. Okay, and those Satan twos can be able to come over in 29 minutes. Okay, this is Revelation 18 and 16. It says, and saying, alas, at last, that great city that was clothed in fine linen and purple. Purple goes into a sign of royalty, right? And scarlet and decked with gold and precious stones and pearls. Okay, and who are those? Ultimately, those precious stones, the elect. Okay, it says, for in 1 hour. So great riches is come to naught, and every shipmaster and all the company and ships and sailors, as many as trade by sea, stood afar off. Yeah, because they're not going to be able to trade in that day, because this place is going to be burning. So it says 17, for in 1 hour so great riches is come to naught, and every shipmaster and all the company and ships and sailors, as many as trade by sea, stood afar off, and cried, when they saw that the smoke of her burning, say, what city is like unto that great city? And cast dust on their heads and cried, weeping and wailing, saying, at last, that great city where were made rich all that ships in the sea by reason of her causes, for in 1 hour she is made desolate. Okay, she is made desolate. Rejoice over her, thou heaven, O holy apostles and prophets, for our power had avenged you on her. And a mighty angel took up a stone like a great millstone and cast it off the sea, saying, thus said, with violence shall the great city of Babylon be thrown down, and shall be found no more at all. Okay, and that great millstone was ICBM missiles. Okay, firing off. Let's read this NLT. Then the mighty angel picked up a boulder the size of a huge millstone. He threw it into the ocean and shouted, just like this, the great city of Babylon will be thrown down with violence and will never be found again. So with that, Kohala Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai Ba'ashem Kakwadash. Shalom to the elect. Kwame Shalom.